Hi my artsy folks, my name is Elina and this blog is about artistic organization, time management, fundraising, collaboration with other artists and creating your artistic projects from start to finish. Let's go. Today we will discuss maybe not the most pleasant subject, however it is a real life topic. We will talk about unsuccessful collaborations, cancellations, failures in a way, how to deal with these if you're running your project, how to look at the situation in the most healthy way, if you want to put it that way. As we all know, life happens. People get sick, move, change their priorities. Maybe they don't want to participate in your project anymore. They can change their minds, or maybe they're simply not professional and organized enough to take part in something like your project. This is totally fine. We all live in the real world and we have to be ready to deal with situations like this. If it happens to any members of your team, please don't quit, first of all. Don't panic. It's better that it happens now than later, after all, right? Technically speaking, if you sign a contract with one of your collaborators, they are responsible to look for a substitute in case they cancel. However, if you don't, it is your task to find another person to collaborate with. You don't have to believe me, but I have never signed a contract with any of my collaborators for the projects I ran in 5 years or so. But of course, I have had cancellations. In fact, I'm happy I had them. Because in the long run, life brought the people to my projects who fit better into my team, who could maybe understand the team better professionally, and who were just ready to work with me and my other collaborators in order to produce the final work successfully. And this is what matters at the end. In the video 1, that is currently right here, I briefly discussed some basic ideas on where to look for collaborators, how to engage in events, perhaps how to expand your network and reach out to people. Check it out if you are looking for some food for thought on this topic. And please don't forget that some contacts can really happen spontaneously in real life. Maybe you don't even have to look for anyone. You never know. Just be open. I have personally had stories when I would see someone in the hallway, on the staircase randomly. It was at my school, yes. But then I approached the person and asked, are you, for example, a viola player, a singer, or whoever I needed at the moment? And they said yes. And I briefly would tell them about the project, and then we started chatting more, and then we rehearsed, so on and so on, and the project happened. So sometimes you just need to really approach people. Yes, you are a stranger, maybe they don't know you, but ask. Maybe your project will be really interesting to them. Maybe they will learn a lot of new things by working with you. I have tons of stories when I found my collaborators through colleagues, through friends of friends. I would message friends and ask, do you know anyone who does this and that? And maybe they would say, I personally don't, but you can message this other person. And then I messaged the other person, and eventually I did find the artist I was looking for in order to carry out my project successfully. So please don't hesitate to contact everyone you know who could know the people relevant to you and your work. In other words, don't panic. Think logically, write down your options and act. Sometimes there are very hard moments for every artist, for every entrepreneur, for every organizer. Sometimes things happen that a lot of us as perfectionists can consider an epic failure. And technically, from that point on, if there is something that happened on stage or during your opening night exhibition, in theater, during a concert, sometimes something happens that you think this is the end. Although I give you 95% that not so many people would notice it, but of course we think that everyone noticed this mistake or whatever one of our collaborators did, or maybe the timing was not perfect somewhere, you name it. And then we have two options. The first one is we come out depressed, we don't want to see anyone, we want to quit, we hate what we're doing, and yeah, all these things. The end of the world happens pretty much. Well, I would analyze it in a way that technically it doesn't help you. It doesn't really give you a progress. It doesn't help your audience. It makes you look grumpy if you don't communicate to your audience at all. It doesn't improve the work of your collaborators. It technically doesn't help anyone, and you're making your life worse. The second option is to just step back and with a cold mind, just think, what is there that happened in the way you think this is the end of the world? And analyze if it's really the end of the world, or you're just over-exaggerating because you're such an emotional artist. And okay, if there was an issue, how can you deal with it? Like really sit down and be a mathematician. Be pragmatic. Don't go crazy. Just think if you're an outsider. Analyze whether you have had a lack of time in preparation of your project. Maybe it was a miscommunication issue. Was it really you who didn't explain the things clearly, who didn't give enough instructions? Or it was one of your collaborators who didn't take it seriously enough in their preparation? Ask yourself whether you could really control it, or it was something you had no influence on whatsoever. And just be honest with yourself whether it was really your fault, or was it someone from the team who just didn't do their job properly? Again, this is probably where the contract would help if you specified what was supposed to be done. However, still in the arts, it is very hard to measure the expectations and the results. Sometimes you might even need to change your collaborators if the project is still in session. And for example, you're closing up this season, and for the next season, you might be thinking that you need somebody new. This is totally okay. Please don't beat yourself up if it's not your fault. At the end, your goal is to actually have a successful project. Therefore, you are interested in optimizing the process and eliminating the factors that create obstacles. Sometimes a substitution is just really, really necessary in order to improve the quality, the collaboration, the communication, and the final artistic result. However, first try to deal with the issue directly with your collaborators. Discuss, sleep on it, never make a rush decision. This is not an easy one. You have to really be sure 100% that you need a substitution. Everybody who dealt with a cancellation of one of the collaborators knows how hard it is. I have had sleepless nights. I have had very difficult time periods when I have experienced cancellations. And sometimes we just take it way too seriously. We think that this is our fault in everything that happens. Take it a little easier. And may you never have to deal with failures, collaboration issues, cancellations, and misunderstandings. I hope that this will not be on your way. However, if it is, analyze everything with a cold mind. Don't panic. Again, don't despair. Don't quit. Ask what would you like to hear from me in the next videos. What can we discuss in detail about organization of artistic projects, fundraising, networking, marketing, social media, collaborations. Maybe you have some special experiences and we can talk about them. Please write it in the comments. I hope that this video helped you. If you're at a crossroads, let me know. If you have other ideas of how to deal with, let's say, difficult collaborations as well, please write it in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell button, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great week. Bye.